at men's lightweight. 155-pound lightweight world championship, 5 5-minute rounds. Tajikistan versus Brazil. Loic Rajabov versus Haush Manfio. Loic Rajabov, the lone representative on the PFL roster from his home country of Tajikistan. He's a huge combat sports star over there. He feels like a championship will really cement not only his place, but his country's place in the world mixed martial arts scene. And we've seen Loic at a very high level here in the Professional Fighters League now for the 2nd straight season. He lost the 2019 championship bout to Natan Schultz in a hard-fought, very close affair.
Yeah, we saw him be a little frivolous with his energy in that championship final, and we've seen this season a little more refined Loic Rajabov. He does a better job of controlling positions, uses his wrestling very effective. He's got naturally heavy hands, and he will stand and try and strike with guys, but he definitely wants to take guys down, smother them, float on top of them, be very, very hard on them, and he's been able to pull that off all season long. He's looking forward to trying to do that again against Manfio in the finale.
So as I said, Loic Rajabov lost his Season 2 championship opportunity to Natan Schultz, who was a back-to-back season champion in 1 and 2. And Natan Schultz happens to have a connection to this fight because he's beat Loic Rajabov, and also he's Haush Manfio's best friend and the godfather of his children. That's how close these two Brazilians are. And now Haush Manfio is looking to do the same thing his best friend did and find a way to beat Loic Rajabov. How does he make it happen?
Well, for him, he's not the fastest starter, whereas Rajabov is. So he's got to be very careful early on in this fight. But once Manfio starts to heat up, watch out. He creates so much momentum. He starts putting his combinations together. He gets his rhythm out there, and he will beat you up. This is a guy who loves to stand up and trade. He also feels that if he does get taken down, he's got the submission skills to get it done there as well. He's coming into this fight very, very confident. He feels this is his destiny to become a PFL World Champion.
Over to you, Lillian Garcia.
In the blue corner, fighting out of Porto Alegre, Brazil, here is the number 3 seed, Haush Manfio. His official weight, 155 pounds. In the red corner, fighting out of Junkie, Tajikistan, here is the number 1 seed, Loic Rajabov. His official weight, 155 pounds.
From lightweight, we go to my favorite weight class here in the PFL. The Light Heavyweight World Championship in Season 3 will be contested between 2 excellent grapplers. The number 1 seed, Antonio Carlos Jr., very experienced. Martin Hamlet, the 3 seed, is a relative newcomer to the sport of mixed martial arts. This is only his 12th pro MMA bout. Let's talk about shoeface Antonio Carlos Jr. Grappling credentials like you read about. This guy can do it anyway on the ground. Can he get and keep Martin Hamlet on the ground long enough to set up a submission?
Well, that's going to be the question. You know, for Antonio Carlos Jr., he's already a jiu-jitsu world champion, now trying to be a mixed martial arts world champion here in the PFL. We've seen huge improvements in his takedown game, big improvements in his striking as well, and how he's putting it all together. It's all been working for him over at American Top Team. So he is coming into this very confident. He's so excited that he's fighting at 205 pounds. He feels he has the strength and the energy to go out there and perform the way he's always wanted.
High-level jiu-jitsu from Antonio Carlos Jr. His opponent, Martin Hamlet, out of Norway, brings a Greco-Roman background into the cage. And Randy, Greco-Roman, you just can't be successful in MMA with Greco-Roman skills.
I don't know anybody who's done it. Martin Hamlet is an amazing athlete, 7-time national champion from Norway, brings the sport and the opportunity to legalize the sport in Norway with success in this outing. He's done a great job in the clinch. He's got amazing power. If he gets his hands on you, you're going to have a serious problem. You're probably going to get some frequent flyer. The amazing power. There's a triangle chuck on triangle from the guard. I've never seen anybody pull it off from there. This guy's very powerful. We did see him in later fights get a little frivolous and a little tired. I think we're going to see a little more refined and a little more directed Martin Hamlet in this fight. He says he's tuned that down a little bit.
In the blue corner, fighting out of Tønsberg, Norway, here is your number 3 seed, Martin Hamlet. His official weight, 205 pounds. In the red corner, fighting out of João Pessoa, Brazil, here is your number 1 seed, Antonio Carlos Jr. His official weight, 204.5 pounds.
From light heavyweight, we go to featherweights. Mevlid Haybulayev representing Dagestan, Russia. Chris Wade, Long Island, New York, a former lightweight who has come down for season 3 here in the PFL. Both of these individuals come in prepared. Great training camps for Chris Wade and for Mevlid Haybulayev. Let's talk about the killer Mevlid first. He comes from the Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov school. He calls Habib one of his best friends and training partners, and he's got a skill set that reflects that lineage.
Yeah, that's right, and he fights with so much pride in representing that school. Of course, the late Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov is always on his mind, and this is a guy who looks like a mini Habib Nurmagomedov. He knows how to set up his striking, to set up his takedowns. He puts you on your back, and you're just not getting up. He's so good at controlling you and beating up with his ground and pound, and he also can set up submissions as well. He's an explosive striker. We've seen him drop guys, and you see that flying knockout right there, one of the fastest knockouts we've seen. Just a brilliant overall mixed martial arts fighter who is ready to be a world champion.
Mevlid comes in with a lot of hype behind him, and that means his opponent, Chris Wade, is once again the underdog. But Wade is very comfortable in that role. In fact, in the semifinals, he was an underdog, and boy, did he prove that that was the wrong expectation. Chris Wade coming down from 155, and it's worked out nicely.
Absolutely. I think we're seeing Chris Wade at the right weight class here. He's probably kicking himself like, why didn't I think of this before? If he had a knock, it was his ability to finish fights. He has a ton of decisions and some knockout and submission victories, but a lot of people say he didn't finish. Now we're seeing finishing ability of him. He's managed to keep his strength, keep his size, and his endurance at 145. He uses his wrestling very, very well. He's got heavy hands naturally, but he's not afraid to tactfully put you on the ground, smother you, and make you wrestle him any chance he can. He does that very, very well from Islip, New York. He's the pride of Islip and a state champion from there, and he wants to represent his hometown well.
Lillian Garcia put these featherweights on the scale.
$6 million are on the line tomorrow night, and the championship fights will continue on ESPN Plus, along with being simulcast on ESPN2, all at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And now, as we continue this weigh-in show, in the blue corner, fighting out of Islip, New York, he is the number 2 seed, Chris Wade. His official weight, 145 pounds. the red corner, fighting out of Dagestan, Russia, he is the number 4 seed, Movlid Abulayev. His official weight, 145 pounds.
Up next, it's the big boys in championship contention. The number 1 seed, Bruno Capoloza, taking on the pride of Croatia, Ante Dilia. 5 5-minute rounds at heavyweight. This is a rematch. The first time these two individuals met up, Bruno Capoloza scored a first-round knockout victory. And Randy, as you know, sometimes when you're the winner of the first bout in a rematch situation, it's hard to make the necessary changes. But Bruno has blitzed everybody this season with his power. Can he do it again?
Well, I agree with you, Sean. It's sometimes hard on the guy that won the first fight how he's going to make a change, and guess what changes that guy's going to make going into the second fight. Bruno thinks he's got it. I tell you what, he reminds me a lot of a young Vitor Belfort. If you stand around in front of this kid, he is going to explode. He said from day one, these guys in heavyweight are not going to be able to deal with my speed. He's come up from 205. And boy, has he lived up to that from the very first match we've seen him in. Very, very explosive, and punch combination after punch combination, right on the point, laser sighted. He is an amazing athlete. I'm excited about this fight. I'm not sure Ante's very excited about it, but I am.
Well, Ante Dilia is the prize pupil of a legend, Mirko Krokop Filipovic. Krokop is an absolute legend in this sport, and now Ante wants to start his own legacy, and he's got to get past the guy who already knocked him out in the first round if he's going to start that path. How does he do it?
Well, we learned a lot about Ante Dilia and how he's able to battle back from adversity, coming back from a first-round knockout loss. I mean, that can ruin a guy's psychology, can ruin his confidence. And for Dilia, we've seen him get better and stronger. And then in his last fight, beating Denis Goltsov, one of the best heavyweights in the world, in my opinion, really showed what he was all about. He was able to win the rounds when he needed to. This is an excellent grappler, but he can strike as well. And I think we're going to see a different approach and the best Ante Dilia we've ever seen.
In the blue corner, fighting out of Zagreb, Croatia, here is the number 3 seed, Ante Dilia. His official weight, 243 pounds. In the red corner, fighting out of Sao Paulo, Brazil, here is your number 1 seed, Bruno Capoloza. His official weight, 236.5 pounds.
After that, a heavyweight belt is handed out. We will take a brief interlude from the title fights for a special event, showcase bout at women's lightweight between Claressa Shields and Abigail Montez. The quote, the 2-time Olympic boxing gold medalist, Claressa Shields, 1-0 in her mixed martial arts career. Abigail Montez, 2-0 so far. Claressa Shields overcame adversity the first time out. She was on her back for 2.5 rounds in that fight. Still pulled out the 3rd-round knockout victory. We need to see growth from her in this second bout. Only a few months later, Randy, what's it going to look like?
Well, I think we will see growth. It really depends on Abigail Montez and how she approaches Clarissa Shields. Is she going to test her out? Is she going to stand in front of her and try and test her hands out? Or is she going to do the smart thing and make that transition and try to put her on the ground? Clarissa has done a great job at Winklejohn, putting herself in some uncomfortable positions, putting herself right here where Brittany O can put her. Full mount, worst place you can be as a boxer is in the full mount position. She stayed composed. She showed amazing composure, in my opinion, and found a way in the third round to turn it around and get where she needed to be, which was on top, landing heavy fists, heavy hands, and those are the things we would expect from her. She's gonna, we'll see if Abigail can put her in some positions and see some new skills from Clarissa Shields.
High expectations for Clarissa Shields because of her boxing pedigree, and so far so good in mixed martial arts. Well, the same is true of Abigail Montez. She has yet to taste defeat as a mixed martial artist. Every bout starts on the feet. And when you're standing across from a two-time Olympic boxing gold medalist, does that mean Abigail Montez just wants to get down, wants to take this thing to the mat right away?
Wouldn't be surprised to see that. She's been training with a lot of high-level fighters, some of them Alexa Grasso, Irina Aldana, who fight in the UFC, who have done very well over there. So she feels she's gonna be ready for the striking skills of Clarissa Shields if she needs to stay there. But yeah, Sean, I expect her to try to look for those takedowns, put Clarissa on her back early to try to test those grappling skills.
In the blue corner, fighting out of Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, Abigail Montez. Her official weight, 154 1/2 pounds. In the red corner, fighting out of Flint, Michigan, Clarissa Shields. Her official weight, 155 3/4 pounds.
And back to the title fights we go. This one, a welterweight world championship that also happens to be a rematch of the season 1 170-pound championship bout. Ray Cooper III, the season 2 champ, Magomed Karamov, the season 1 champ, and Ray Cooper looking to make it back-to-back titles. But this is the fight that has meant the most to him. This is the fight that he's wanted ever since that loss in season 1, Randy, and now it's here.
I agree. I think Ray Cooper's having a dream season, if you will. We signed Rory McDonald. The first thing he says is, I want Rory McDonald. He got Rory McDonald in the semifinals. He has wanted this fight, and here he is against Jake Shields in season 1. Heavy-handed, tremendous wrestler, scrambles very, very well, uses his wrestling skills. Here's his loss to Magomed Karamov with a guillotine choke. And he has wanted this rematch with Magomed Karamov for the last 3 years. He's been hungry for this, and he's getting exactly what he wants. We see a more refined Ray Cooper now. He was frivolous with his energy, and I think got a little tired in that championship fight in 2019. And we're seeing him refine that aggression a little bit, direct it a little more, stay a little more focused, and that is a tough guy to deal with.
Well, Kenny, Ray Cooper III, he won the season 2 championship, and he's gotten better since then, as Randy just mentioned. And now Magomed Karamov has to face, I think, an even better version of Ray Cooper. Does he get it done for the second time in as many bouts against the Hawaiian?
I agree. He's definitely going to have to deal with a much better Ray Cooper, but I believe Magomed Karamov is better himself. He showed that he knows how to deal with adversity. Coming into this, he needed a first-round win against Curtis Millenberg. Well, it wasn't so smooth for him. He got his knee injured in that fight. He found a way to get that Ezekiel choke right there, put him to sleep, and he has looked phenomenal since then. Looking like he's firing on all cylinders. There he is, dealing with that knee injury, winning that fight. on one leg, just unbelievable. But, you know, for him, he's got the submission game. He's got the striking. He's going to have the reach and length here in this fight. This is going to be an amazing fight, gentlemen. This is what everybody wanted, and he's coming into this fight very confident. He believes he's going to get another choke here against Ray Cooper.
In the blue corner, fighting out of Dagestan, Russia, he is the #4 seed and the 2018 PFL Welterweight World Champion, Magomed Karamov. His official weight, 170 pounds. In the red corner, fighting out of Pearl City, Hawaii, he is the #3 seed and your 2019 PFL Welterweight World Champion, Brada Ray Cooper III. His official weight, 169 3/4 pounds.
An intense stare down ahead of what promises to be a very intense fight. If we take a look at our tail of the tape, Magomed Karamov, 3 years older. He's taller. He's got a reach advantage with the arms and the legs. And we've got him now for a question or two ahead of this championship rematch. There he is, Maga Millions. Maga, it has been almost 3 years since the first time you and Ray Cooper III squared off inside the PFL Smart Cage. What about this fight is going to be different than the first time you matched up?
Магомед, вы с Рэем уже столкнулись 3 года назад. Мы знаем, как бой закончился. Как вы думаете, чем бой в этом году, ваша новая встреча, отличается от того, что случилось 3 года назад?
Встреча ничем не отличается. Тот же самый боец, та же самая клетка. И будет тот же самый результат.
I don't see much difference in this fight. It's the same fighter, same skills, and I see the same outcome.
Maga, you did tell us during the fighter interviews that you expect another submission victory. Are you ready to guarantee that tonight?
Магомед, в одном из интервью вы сказали, что вы готовы опять удушающий провести. Если возможность такая получится, вы думаете, так бой закончится?
Я могу его стойки побить, тоже мне проблем не будет. Могу побороть, могу задушить тоже его. Ну, в бою увидите, что будет.
I cannot tell you now exactly what's going to happen. We'll have to play it by ear. We might do a striking match. We can do some grappling, some wrestling. Again, we'll see how the fight unfolds. We'll see the spectacular fight.
Thank you, Maga. And with that, we go over to Brada Ray Cooper III. Ray, this is a fight that you have wanted this rematch since that Season 1 championship loss. Now it's here. How do you make sure the outcome is different this time?
I just can go in there and get into a fight. That's pretty much what it is. I'm going there and punch him in his face, plain and simple.
That's a simple game plan. Brada, haircut looks good. Thank you, Ray Cooper III.
Thank you.
All right. So look, we got to state this, all right? Ray Cooper III shaved the head right before his championship bout, and I'm told that that might have had something to do with a pretty tough weight cut. How does that play in? Not only the weight cut, Randy, but also, you know, fighting with a shaved head.
I like the barber. I think the barber's that's a great idea. Wind resistance is at a minimum right now.
Exactly, that's true. Oh,
a more aerodynamic Ray Cooper III here in the Season 3 championship?
Well, you know, it's funny. He looks even more intimidating now with the shaved head. So, not that he needed to be more intimidating, but he looks very focused, and you know that could be a telling thing. You know, we've seen it before. Guys who get involved in a lot of tough weight cuts that are in the heat for that long, they'll do anything to try to cut that weight. Shaving the head, I don't know. Maybe that's a sign that that was a tough weight cut. Who knows?
That's our co-main event. And up next, it is the main event of our championship evening. Women's Lightweight World Championship, 5-minute rounds. Kayla Harrison looking for back-to-back titles. Taylor Guardado trying to pull the upset of the year in the sport of mixed martial arts. Kayla Harrison, she's got 2 Olympic gold medals. Yep. She's looking for back-to-back world titles here in the PFL. She wants to be known as the best mixed martial artist on the planet, but you got to get it done. And for her, the expectations are even higher. A lot of times people say you got to do it perfectly. What do you expect from Kayla?
Well, to say I have respect and admiration for Kayla and what she's accomplished in the 3 years that I've known her would be an understatement. She's just done such a great job of checking that ego, putting herself out there, putting herself in a great camp, being willing to stop being so hard on herself. Doesn't need to be perfect, just needs to be effective and get the job done. And man, have we seen her on fire this season. She has been amazing to watch. The ground and pound, the submission skills, the takedown skills from top to bottom. She's just done an amazing job. And the new title has brought a new focus to her. Being called mom now has, I think, put a new focus on her training and her accomplishments.
Kayla Harrison decorated in every combat sport, and her opponent, Taylor Guardado, comes in as a massive underdog. But Kenny, we all know one of the best ways to become a legend is to beat a legend. Taylor Guardado with an upset here could really make a name for herself.
No question about it. And she has no pressure going into that fight tomorrow night. And she has come in here as an underdog. Her first fight, she was underdog. Her second fight, her third fight, and she has been undefeated. And she has shown that she knows how to learn from each and every round. She has gotten better. She knows how to win rounds. She's a smart fighter that knows how to utilize her grappling and her control to get it done. I imagine she's going to try to stand up with Kayla as well. 4-ounce gloves. Anything can happen. We've seen upsets here before.
In the blue corner, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, here is your number 4 seed, Taylor Guardado. Her official weight, 154 1/2 pounds. In the red corner, fighting out of Middletown, Ohio, here is your number 2 seed and the 2019 PFL Women's Lightweight World Champion, Kayla Harrison. Her official weight, 153 3/4 pounds.
We'll take a look at our tail of the tape for this women's lightweight main event. Kayla Harrison, 1 year older, 2 inches taller. It's Taylor Guardado with the reach advantage on the arms. Slight advantage to Kayla Harrison in the leg reach. Taylor Guardado came into this season, as Kenny just mentioned, being forced to embrace the underdog role, and once again, you have to do that in a championship bout. What is your mindset coming in knowing that nobody expects you to win this fight?
I'm extremely calm. I'm ready. You know what? I'm gonna have a great time, and I'm gonna go out there and just do what I love to do.
3-0 in her first PFL season, looking to go 4-0 tomorrow night, Taylor Guardado. And with that, we go over to the returning champion, Kayla Harrison. I'm told that you like things that come in pairs. 2 Olympic gold medals, officially now mom of 2 kids.
2 kids.
How do you make it 2 championship PFL belts?
How?
How?
I go out there and do what I do best, kill for the love of killing.
Like a lion, maybe? Some sort
Lion, tiger, bear, wolf, I don't give a shit. Whatever it is, I'm gonna kill.
That is your women's lightweight main event. The last of 6 championship bouts on our card tomorrow night. Kill for the love of killing, Randy.
Pretty simple.
You have a way of getting her upset sometimes, I feel like. Your questions are perfect for her.
She scares me.
She scares me too.
All right, so we set the table for you with 6 title bouts. Oh, by the way, Wiz Khalifa is going to be performing live. That's right. The biggest night in mixed martial arts gets even bigger. I'm told Wiz did not allow Kenny Florian to take on the role of backup dancer.
Oh, come on! Come on! I had such a good routine.
I know, you showed me that sequin banana hammock you were going to
I was ready.
Man, I can't believe that.
Randy, in all
I can't believe you
seriousness,
wouldn't allow that.
Wiz is not just an MMA fan. He's not just an investor here in the PFL. This is a guy who actually practices the mixed martial arts. You've sparred with
I have
Wiz.
sparred with him. He is actually very, very good. He came into us at Unbreakable, wanted to put on some weight because he felt like he was too skinny. How that's possible, I don't know. But and just has done a great job in 3 or 4 years putting on 20 pounds of mass. And his kickboxing is on point. He is very good.
Wiz Khalifa, man of many talents. So we've got a Wiz performance. We've got 6 title fights. We've got 3 PFL newcomers making their debuts in the showcase. We've got Clarissa Shields, the GWOAT, a 2-time Olympic boxing medalist in her 2nd pro mixed martial arts bout. It does not get any bigger than this. It is the grandest night in the sport of mixed martial arts, and it is less than 24 hours away. 4:30 Eastern on ESPN+, 8 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2 and ESPN+. 6 title fights. Kenny Florian's going to be there. Randy Couture's going to be there. I'm Sean O'Connell. I will be there. Join us tomorrow night.
Expect you to be displaying the banana hammock.
Exactly. We just lost viewers. We just lost viewers.
Yeah.
We're going to rehearse